Hey there, so today we have another review, and this is a beer from Dogfish Head. This is Liquid Truth Serum IPA, and they have all these hops jumping around, and it's actually pretty cool. They have a little bit of an explanation here. They say myth IBUs, which is sort of the International Bitterness Units, is the objective way to sort of calculate hops, or hop bitterness in a beer, can be only achieved in the boil. That's a myth. The truth is you can actually have 4 different hop additions added in the whirlpools and make this beer wonderfully, truthfully hoppy without being deceptively bitter. So when you're brewing a beer, you're going to possibly add bittering additions. That's when the beer is boiling, 212 degrees or simmering, and you're going to isomerize those alpha acids. So hops have alpha acids, and to isomerize those, that's where you get the IBUs. That's where you get your most of your bitterness. But you can also isomerize hops at lower temperatures. So when you're whirlpooling and you basically have turned off the heat in your kettle, and you're whirlpooling to add in hops and also collect all the trub and everything, you can isomerize hops at, I believe, 180 degrees Fahrenheit and even lower than that. So as you're dropping temperature and you add those hops, you can still actually add a good amount of bitterness to the beer, but you're also going to be ideally adding a little bit more of that flavor content, and then you can also dry hop, et cetera, et cetera. So what are the 4 different types of hops that they're using here, as in different forms of hops? So you can use whole leaf, which are the whole leaf hops that you pull from the vine. You can liquefy those hops in a chemical process where you remove all those wonderful essential oils. You can pelletize those hops, which is what you usually see at a homebrew shop or what most brewers use. And then you could also powder those hops. So that's a new technology, relatively new technology in the last couple of years that brewers have really sort of caught onto that kind of like hop. It's almost like a keef, kind of like hop keef kind of thing going on. Anyway, let's dig into this beer. 7% IPA. This is quite fresh, about a month fresh. So let's dig into it. So the beer comes in a light to medium gold color, medium, actually medium minus haze at best. Decently clear, and has probably a little bit of chill haze. Let's get the aroma. Not that much on the nose. There's a beautiful kind of like oily tangerine zesting going on. Yeah, mandarin orange, slightly leaning towards a passion fruit tropical. A light kind of biscuity honey malt in here. But yeah, mostly just that kind of like oily kind of citrus peel. On the base tone, it has a little bit of this kind of like earthiness going on. I don't know. Up front, follows that oily thing, oily citrus. A little bit of this kind of like soapy pine thing going on. A little bit of malt comes through. It's a little bit of East Coast meets West Coast. It has that kind of traditional like oily grapefruit citrus peel that some of your West Coast IPAs have, but there's a pulled back malt on here. You can see that this beer is a little lighter. This beer is also restrained on bitterness. But it really doesn't just do much. It just like, I mean, for a beer that, talks about being a true liquid true serum and whirlpooling all these hops and using different kinds of hops and being a month fresh, like, wow. The beer sitting in front of me, let's try to ignore the date and all this other stuff. The beer sitting in front of me gets like an 83. Yeah, it's just like, it doesn't really quite pop in the sense of what I associate with American IPA. It doesn't quite have the bitterness either. And then I like the fact that the malts are a little bit, pulled back, but it's just nothing showy. Until next time, guys, cheers. Let me know what you think about Liquid True Serum from Dogfish Head. Later.